All right. Hey, friends. So I just wanted to come on. Um, it's Saturday, so it's Small Business Saturday. And I think I just want to. I don't really know what I'm going to do with this series. I'm sorry, you guys, but I don't know what I'm going to do with this series. But um, it is Small Business Saturday. Every day to me is Small Business Saturday, but I think we're gonna highlight some things for small business. Just so you know, I'm Tracee Lee, owner of Juicebox 215. And so on this Small Business Saturday, I wanted to just talk about uh, vending season. So I'm in Philly. For me, vending season is from April to October, and we've always participated in different vending events since I started Juicebox out of my home. But once we got into the retail store and all the other things, I kind of died down on eventing, vending, whatever you want to call it. And so with the pandemic, we're kind of being at the end of it, I guess, because mask mandates are going away, and they've even changed the vaccine, all of the things that they're doing and changing, whatever. Juicebox 215 is getting ready for vending season. And so I figured, why not share some of the things that I've learned in the vending season, so that if you are considering getting ready for, if you're considering vending at events, if you're getting ready for the vending season, then maybe some of the things that I can share with you will help you during the process. So first of all, some people may be doing events all year long. So if you're doing events all year long, then this is really not for you, but you still may be able to find some tips that I can share with you in preparation for doing an event outside of your retail space, outside of your maybe food truck or food trailer, or anything where you are getting the word out. And so the number one thing I want to talk, well, the first thing, not number one, but the first thing I want to talk about is understanding vending. What it is, what it isn't, what it can be, what it should be, what it shouldn't be, whatever you want to call it. But vending season, or when you are vending for Juicebox, it is marketing for us right now. Like I said, this is not our main source of how we are operating, so we're not in a vehicle or out or doing tables and different events all year long. We work online predominantly, but as we are reopening and wanting to let the world know, the people know that we are here, then doing vending events has become marketing for Juicebox 215. And so one of the things you might want to ask yourself when you are getting ready for vending season is, what are you selling? Right now, if you're doing apparel, shirts, if you're doing if you're making your own gift type things, when you are vending, ask yourself, what are you selling, so that when you are preparing for, or even when you get to the event, you have something for the people to go to even after they found you, right? Whether it be a website, whether it be your Facebook, Instagram shop, whether it be an email or anything where you can be in contact with them, or they can be in contact with you if they want to purchase again, or maybe they weren't prepared to purchase from you at that time, but now they're like a day or 2 weeks later, they're ready, they have a way to contact you. So you want to know what you're selling so that you can be prepared, right? The other thing you want to know is who you're selling to. I don't know if you've heard this word before, but a niche market is a big buzzword these days when you are growing your business or even establishing your business. And even if you aren't sure what your niche is, it doesn't matter what you know. As far as like if you know them intimately, because having the niche market means that you're intimately understanding and knowing who you are selling to. But whether you have a niche or not, you should at least have an idea of who you're selling to. Are you selling to children? Are you selling to adults? Are you selling to men? Are you selling to women? Are you selling to ages 21 and under? Are you selling to 21 and over? Are you selling from 35 to 40? So all of these things are just kind of broad ways to understand who you're selling to. If you get into, which you should, if you have not niched down your market, then that's something you definitely want to think about. But we'll talk about niching down in a different video. But for now, just have a broad idea of who you're selling to. So when you know what you're selling and you know who you're selling to, now you can easily find yourself into finding vending events that will market your product to who and what you're selling, right? So now we get into the events. Now, before I got into vending, one of the things that I would do, this was again when we were in the house doing juice box, I would go to events. I wouldn't buy a ticket. I wouldn't buy a table. I wouldn't, put that kind of money out yet. I would just, buy a ticket and go as a person, patron, whatever, scout out the vending event, see about how many people they would have. I would see about, what other type of goods were being sold so that I could know if my market would benefit, or if I would be like a new service or a new type of table, or, whatever the case may be. So I would just go and check them out, right? So that's definitely something, especially if you're like brand new, if you're just getting started in your business, if this is like your very first vending event and you're kind of like a little nervous about who you are selling to and what it is exactly you're selling, that's fine. Go buy a ticket. If you see some things that are out there and you know that they are offering that you can buy from them, be a vendor at their event, you don't have to be a vendor your first time out. Just buy a ticket. Try to go at their busiest time, right? Whatever that time is, or prepare to kind of come and go throughout the day or 2 days, depending on what the event is, and then just see what it's hitting for. And if it's something that you are thinking, this could really be good for blank business, then you find out who the contact person is, and then you get their information, and then when the next event comes up, whether it be the next month or the next year, you can now put it on your calendar of events that you're going to be participating in. So that's what we used to do. We still do that for events, just to see if it really matches who I sell to and what it is that I want to sell. Some events I've just kind of stumbled on and was like, oh, this is a really nice event. I need to figure out how to become involved, and then I will go and find out who was the organizer or the person who put it together, and then get their information or get on their email list so that I could be one of the first ones to find out when that opportunity opened up the next time. So that's definitely something that I would suggest that you do as you are preparing for event season, right? The other thing is creating a calendar of events. So whether it be events that you are familiar with and you are like, okay, I know that the farmers market, I'm going to be doing a farmers market every Saturday. Now you can sit down, and from April to October, I can pretty much map out the events that I'm going to be participating in, so that I can have a calendar for myself and for my family, of course. And then some events, the whole family is going to be going. Some events, I may need to get a sitter. So the event calendar is very important for me personally. And then professionally, it's important because then I can let my customers know where I'm going to be. So that if, now we are online exclusively, so we don't have the retail coming in like we used to. So I'm super excited to, have my customers that I haven't seen in a long time, because whether I'm delivering to them or we're shipping to them, if they're in the area, they can now come and we can bust it up, and they can maybe try some new things that we're doing on the vending circuit, right? So that's the other reason why you want to have your event calendar. It's the other reason why you want to be planning this out, so that as events come up, you can prepare, right? Because some events are going to be bigger, some events are going to be smaller. Like this year, like I said, we haven't done anything in 2 years since COVID. We really haven't done anything. So I'm starting my vending season this year pretty much with a clean slate. I'm getting myself involved. I'm participating in various festivals. I'm participating in farmers markets and different things. And so I don't really know what it will look like for me throughout the vending season. So it's just literally information. Like, I'm gonna go out, I'm prepared in the way that I'm gonna show up. But if I find that, hey, this doesn't sell or that sells, or I'm finding, I'm getting more questions about this, we'll have this next time or the next go round, so that next year's vending season, it will be a much easier process, because there's data now for me to say, okay, I won't be participating in this farmer's market because it didn't benefit me. My niche market was not here. Whatever. So, that's the other reason why the event calendar is very important. So you can personally have your calendar and know how you're going to set yourself up. You can create the calendar so you know where you're going to be. You can let your people know where you're going to be. And again, if you have a website, if you have a social media, all of this can be planned out in your content so that you can know, okay, this is where I'm going to be, this is the location. They may not know, you may not know at the time what number you're going to be at, but you're going to be at the Swarthmore Farmers Market. And so as a result of that, on April 19th, we'll be at the Swarthmore Farmers Market. Come check us out. And then you can even highlight some of the other vendors that are going to be there, so that people can come for more than just you. Or if they're coming for things, they can plan their day out. So you definitely want to get into that habit with your vending season. The other thing with preparing for vending season is, what are you bringing? Right? And what does that look like? How are you going to prepare? What if you sell out and you have a event that you're supposed to go to the next day? How are you going to recoup? How are you, if you don't have I don't know, what your turnaround time is, but that's another thing. What's your turnaround time, right? How many people do you need? So for a local, maybe let's say a neighborhood type of event, I may just need myself, and if my husband wants to come and help me, then great. But if he can't come and help me, then maybe even me and my son, my oldest son, can do the event, and it's not a big deal. If we're doing a festival, I know that I need at least 4 people in the truck. So what 4 people are they going to be? What staff am I hiring for the event? As we begin to grow and I begin to really start marketing to the people, I have a street team, right? So what is it that the street team's going to be doing? How do I make sure that everybody's there? So now if I know that I'm doing one big festival each month, so that's April, May, June, July, August, September, October, so that's 7 big festivals that I'm doing a month, then that could be 4 to 8 people that I need for each of those events, right? And so that helps me to prepare in personnel. Then I need to consider what all am I selling that day, right? Because you have to know what you're selling, not just on the truck or on the card or on the whatever. You have to know what you're selling for the secondary comeback. But before we even get into the marketing of what are you selling the day of, right? So I'm a juice bar. We do juices, we do smoothies, we do salad, soups, vegan treats. We do we'll be rolling out sandwiches this summer and different things like that. And of course we'll have corn at the events as well, and lemonades as well. So we have a lot of different things on the menu that we want to bring to the event, but I have to prepare a lot of that stuff. Some of it is just getting enough lemons, getting enough apples, getting enough of the produce so that we can make it right there on the vehicle or at the event space or whatever it is that we're doing. And some event spaces or events that we do, we don't prepare anything in front of anybody. We have it all made before we even get there. So that could mean if we're doing an event on Saturday and or Sunday, then Thursday and Friday we're in the kitchen making the juices, getting everything ready. So what does that look like? So for different events, I need to know how much am I gonna be bringing. Am I doing a pallet full of juices? So that's a longer prep time for me for Saturday and Sunday, even in personnel. So I know how many people I need on the day of the event, but how many people will you need when you're leading up to the event, and then the cost of that. So event season can be a lot, and you don't want to clearly get started. whatever, right? And if you didn't think about any of this stuff, that's fine. Don't let what I'm saying to you stop you from participating in this event that you started in. But also, as you're doing it, consider the time, consider the money, consider all the things that you need to consider in order to be successful. Because a successful event is you showing up to the event, you impacting just one person at the event, and maybe making a few bucks, at least making the money back that you put out, right? You do that, you're winning. If you exceed that, then you are a star and you are on your way to growing your business, right? So I did want to just share one story about doing an event that I did many years ago when we first started Juicebox. Again, we were in the home, and one of the things that I did not do, and this is something that you can do as well as you're preparing for an event. If sometimes people will reach out to you and say, hey, we saw that you are doing we want you to do this event, or it might be an event that you're interested in and you're thinking, wow, this could be really helpful for me. Before you pay your money, before you fill out the application, have a conversation with the person who's in charge of the organizer, and you can ask them some questions. So at the time of this specific event that I did, I wasn't quite clear on who my niche market was, and I had never participated in a vending event there, nor had I even participated in the event itself. Hindsight, I wish I would have just gone to the event to see if it's something that would benefit me and my business. But I was so excited for, the celebrity that was going to be there. I was excited for, just the opportunity of being seen and what it can do for me and my business. And I just didn't know that you should prepare for an event in such a way by even asking questions. So get to the event. I had to have a generator, which I wasn't really familiar with having a generator, because most of the places that I had participated in, it was indoors and I could just plug in my juicer, right? I had some friends and my family members come and help me, and it was a disaster. And I spent a lot of money in product, in preparation, in time, and even to be at the event, and it was a total and utter bust. Because A, I didn't know what I was selling, and B, I didn't know who I was selling to. The third thing was I didn't ask any questions. I was just blinded by the celebrity of it all, right? And then it ended up being a total, utter bust. And that was a big learning lesson for me. And this is why I'm sharing this information with you now. Ask questions. Find out, how many people do you expect? Maybe, and even if some people may not know, which they should, if they don't know, then that could be a red flag for you to just buy a ticket and not participate. How many other vendors are going to be there? Where in proximity to the tent or to the event will the vendors be set up? Because that was probably one of the biggest downfalls, was we were so far away from the event that it was a joke. You know what I'm saying? So people weren't even walking by us to even be intrigued by what we were selling. They were going right into the tent. And then I know for me, as a food, beverage type of business, I needed to know if it was food going to be there. And I didn't even ask. I mean, it was a brunch, so clearly food was going to be there, but that would have changed. Had I thought about it, it would have changed what I brought to sell. Right. And so, yeah, it was a joke. But I needed to learn it. It was a big mistake financially for me. And clearly it wasn't $1 million vending, but for a small business, I was still working to take the money that I really didn't have for this event. It was just like, I can't believe I did this to myself. And I worked myself to death for nothing. There was nothing that I got on the other end of it. So then the next year, when the event came back around and the organizer asked if I would participate, I was okay with saying no thank you, because I had already participated and it didn't do anything for me. But had I just bought a ticket to just find out what it was and like what it would all be, I would have saved myself time and headache. And that's the other thing. You cannot do every event, right? It may not financially be feasible, whether it's childcare, because that's a thing, right? And then, you know, sometimes mom and aunt blah blah is not going to be able to watch the kids, because especially if you and your husband or you and your partner are going to be at the event and it's not something that the kids can really find a place for them to do something, that's money that you have to kick out. So, you know, it's just a lot of different things that when you're considering vending season to look out for. So that's Tracee Small Business Saturday, my tip for this Saturday in preparation for vending season. If you have any questions about vending season or something that you should look out for, you know, put the question in the comments below, and I will see you all on the next video.